Good evening, Bahamas, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Is always a pleasure to be with you. Sorry for the few minutes late start, but we had to just make sure that everything was in place, and we downloaded what we had to download, and we are ready to get going right now. I hope that you're able to hear me as we speak, and of course, my online producers from all over the world will let me know if they are able to hear what's going on. Um, but definitely, good evening to you. This is going to be a critical live broadcast, a very critical live broadcast. This is one. This is going to be serious. Um, as you know, our reputation over the years has been one that we only come forward to the Bahamian people with what we know and what we can prove. Forward, but we always prove it when we have to. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know that today is going to be a very serious one. And I want you to spend the evening with me. One of the reasons politicians do some of the things they do is because they know that it takes what they do is so complicated that it takes someone with special skills or a team with special skills to unravel what it is they're doing, and that most people don't have a strong or long attention span to be able to have the time to unravel what it is they're doing. And that's how they get away with it, because many people want you to say things in 2 minutes or 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then at that point, and then there's disbelief because you didn't have time to show them everything. But what we've done over the years is we've brought documentation, we've brought proof, and we've been able to show people what's going on. And so we're gonna take our time with this, of course, and we're gonna show you exactly what's going on. Two things we want to touch on today. We want to touch on the situation with Eric Gardner. Where is Eric Gardner? And I can tell you that Eric Gardner is not missing. In fact, he's not far from where I am right now. No, I'm not in the Bahamas. I am overseas, and um, right now we're I'm locked down, and I'm only going to show you this because as soon as I finish this broadcast, I'll be changing locations. But just want you to know that I'm not in the Bahamas. I'm overseas, and Eric Gardner is not lost. They know exactly where he is, and only our government doesn't seem to know where he is. And we're going to show you how embarrassing that is that they don't know where he is. They should know exactly what is going on, and I don't know how they don't know. But just so you know, I'll show you. I am overseas. I just want you to see that I'm overseas, and you're not in them buildings in the Bahamas. So I just wanted you to see that much that I am not in the Bahamas. So the people who was wondering about my safety, et cetera, no, no, no. I am safe and secured and being secured. All right. So uh so don't worry about me and where I am. All right. Uh but I'm not very far from where Gardner is. All right, we'll get to that in a minute. Before I get this started, again, Bahamas, this has happened over time. I mean, Martin Luther King has gone through it, and everyone goes through it. These little veiled threats uh, by these people involved, I don't know what makes them think that at this point in my life, after I've been doing this for over 2 decades, that I'm going to, in any way, be intimidated by them. I don't know what would make them think that I would be, but threats don't move me, because someone who's going to threaten you, they're not serious. They're a coward. If someone is going to do something, they're just going to do it. So someone who comes with a threat, that's a coward. So I don't understand why y'all are blowing up my phone with these little veiled threats and these little whispering voices and come on, man. Don't waste your time. Spend your time getting your act together so that you don't have to worry about what is to come. Don't worry about me. All right? And nothing you say is going to stop this. We've received threats, yeah, of course, the death threats. We've received threats recently, literally since I put that thing out, that they're gonna come after me in every way they can. They're gonna come after everyone around me. They're gonna destroy me. I'm gonna live to see. I'm gonna get destroyed. They're gonna make everyone wish they were never near to me. This kind of conversations they having, um, they're coming on the farm. They're coming on the crown land where we are. They say the tractor's coming. We could destroy everything down there. We could get rid of all of y'all. We could make all them people angry with you. And these are the kind of threats that they're sending. So when you see the tractors come, that's brave them. All right, just know it. That's brave them. All right. So these kind of veiled threats about what they're gonna do, they're gonna lock me up. They can find stuff to put on me. Um, 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 all this kind of stuff. Listen, y'all come on. If y'all want to take land from Bahamians, then y'all do that. I think Bahamians know what's going on and we're wise enough to see. If y'all come in with your tractors to mess with Bahamians, then go right ahead. All right? Y'all are in power. Do what y'all got to do, but remember there's always consequences. All right? Um, and so I want the international community to know that if they're going after an activist, someone who's reporting on what's going on, their political opponents, uh, uh, it lends more to RICO. Do you know who that is? You're going to find out who that is today. That is to intimidate those who might be there to expose them. So when you see the tractors come in, that ain't for no good purpose. That is intimidation. Intimidating those people on the farm who, some of them have lawsuits against them right now. Um, and so when you see Carol popping back up and you see the tractors coming, I've received the threats, okay? And so that's these criminals who don't want to get exposed. So once you see that, that's them coming at us. So I just wanted to put that there because that was added into the other little death threats and what they could do and this and that. And just know that we're not intimidated. This one is for country. All right? This one is for country, man. I'm tired of our country being embarrassed. I'm tired of our country being embarrassed, man. Every time. We call good bad and bad good. Just so a few politicians and drug dealers, etc., can get rich while we suffer. While they throw the book at regular Bahamians, call us criminals, give us tickets, have police at every corner giving us tickets, while they're the ones who are really doing the wrong in our country. So, um, so ladies and gentlemen, because I'm doing what I'm doing, they promised to attack me in many different ways. They're gonna charge me with some stuff. They're gonna do this. They're gonna do that. And they're gonna bring tractors and they're gonna take our land and all kind of stuff. So when you see it happening, you know why it's happening. All right, and it's intimidation. So the international community is watching this right now. Um, in fact, they're watching it with me. um, so let's get to what we came here to talk about. Um, we came to talk about two things. Everyone was asking about where is Eric Gardner, and so I was concerned about that. And so, of course, we are investigators. That's what we've been doing for 2 decades. And so we decided to go and find where Eric Gardner was. And so we got the documentation. We got everything we need so you can understand where Eric Gardner is right now. Where Eric Gardner is more shocking than him not appearing to court. So let's get to that. And afterwards, we are going to reveal the exact name of politician number one. Okay? We are going to reveal the name of politician number one. All right? Because the reputation of our country is at stake, and someone has to do something. And before I get started, for those political trolls who are hired to go after the president of the Christian Council, um, stop while you're ahead. Bahamas, the political trolls don't say anything that they are not sent to say. They don't just say stuff because they have to get permission to say what they say. So if you see the political trolls saying something, they were sent and paid to do that. And so the PLP is now paying, it's just my opinion, the trolls to attack Mario Moxie, the head of the Bahamas Christian Council, because he decided to take a stand against corruption. And so, and so that is wrong of them to do that. The man is speaking his opinion. Everyone should have a right to his opinion. And he's speaking on behalf of the Christians in this country, those who feel the way he does. Now, everyone in the Christian Council doesn't have to agree, and every Christian doesn't have to agree. But he has always been standing up. He was one who stood up with the no vote when it came to that referendum. He stood up against the money that was being put out to legalize gaming. That was the start. That was the beginning of us getting to where we're getting now. And the plan is to end up having a prime minister who came to this illegal process. And so he stood up. So he didn't just start talking about this. He wasn't the president of Christian Council then, but him and others stood up. And so he didn't just start this. He's been doing this for a long time. Are they selective? Listen, everyone can only talk about a certain amount of things. We only got a certain amount of hours in the day. So they choose what they speak about. They can't talk about everything. Every sin is happening in the country. Every wrong is happening. But they can choose what is most impacting our country. And when you have persons who are using, and you're going to see this in documents today, using drug money to buy influence, drug money to numbers, to buying buildings. And there was always this concern to buying buildings and et cetera, and then using it to buy political influence, then getting into politics, that's a problem. All right. And so there's a lot to talk about today. You all hang in there. 28,000 people on here across our platforms. Remember, we are on uh, three of our social media pages: Lincoln Bain, Bahamian Evolution, Coalition of Independence. The same thing with YouTube: Lincoln Bain, Coalition of Independence, Bahamian Evolution. We're on LinkedIn. Uh, uh, LinkedIn. What is it? We should be on TikTok also, and a few other pages and websites. So we're everywhere right now. And so whatever number you're seeing of watching, that's only for where you are watching it. There's Everyone has their own numbers. All right. So let's go. All right. So, Mario Moxie, I stand with you on this. Mario Moxie, I stand with you. You have always been a righteous and stand up fella. No scandals, not about getting rich off of the people. You've always been for standing for what is right. I stand with you on this. All right. You're not one of the bad guys. You are a good guy, and continue doing what you're doing. And if Brave Davis wants to continue to pay, uh, those political trolls to attack you, then the whole country can see what's going on. All right? Perfect. Now, let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, uh, the picture that you saw while we were um, waiting to get on, that picture you saw was a new picture. Of course, this is Eric Gardner right now. This picture was taken just a few days ago, 4 days ago, actually. And so this is his picture in his prison garb. You can see the orange outfit, I guess that's his prison garb. But this is the latest picture of Eric Gardner. This is him right now as we speak. And so he's not lost. I know exactly where he is, and he is right here. All right. And I'll explain to you exactly what's going on, and I'm going to do it with documents. I can't rush through this, so just bear with me. Okay. um, Eric Gardner is alive. He's not missing. I saw that this political website, that is a PLP website. Again, they're trying to do a misinformation campaign, but this website is trying to make it seem like he's gone missing, or like he's being held somewhere and being waterboarded or something to get him to talk, or all kind of stuff they're putting out there. Everything that's happening is a regular process, and I'm going to show you the documents, and it's a regular process. There's no big deal about what's happening with him, but you're going to see these documents, etc., right now. All right. And so be prepared. All right. So I'm going to start with, I started with that picture. And next, I'm going to show you the documents kind of in order to show you where he is and what's been going on. All right. We always show the documents. Um, so politician one might know where he is, but we know where he is. And so let's go to the documents. Just give me one sec. Let me pull it up for you. Um, yes, here we go. Okay, so this is the document, the first document where he was taken in, and this shows. You know what? To better get you to understand it, let me just go through a bunch of documents, um, and then I'll come back to this. All right. Let me just show you the document that shows you all of these documents, and then I'll open them up and show them for you. I think that's the best way to get you to understand exactly what you're seeing. All right. So I'll open it up to that. All right. So you want to know where Eric Gardner is? We found him. Eric Gardner. So this is the series of documents. This is the series of documents that I'm going to show you now. This is a series of documents, and as you can see, um, Middle East District Court, May 15th, etc. Look at this. This is interesting. Terminated May 19th. That's interesting. Stay tuned. You'll understand it later. Um, all right. Tuesday. So Tuesday, May 19th, there was an order of removal pursuant to rule, and this shows you that there's a document behind it to rule whatever in the Southern District of New York as to Jonathan Eric Gardner, signed by Magistrate Judge Nathan W. on the 19th of May. The next one is a commitment to another district. And remember, because they were moving into the Southern District of New York, so that's what you're seeing now, commitment to another district. That was put out there on the after that, all right, on Tuesday, May 19th. Also, order of removal, all right, this is on the 19th, pursuant to rule, etc. And they were going to remove him to the Southern District of New York. Um, and that's Eric Gardner and signed by the magistrate. Commitment to another district, that's another document, as to Jordan Eric Gardner, defendant committed to the Southern District of New York, signed by the magistrate. All right, that's the 19th. Order of detention, pending further proceedings, granting oral motion. Defendant makes no application for release, so he didn't ask to get released at this time. Motion for conditions of release and detention hearing may be filed at a later date, signed by Magistrate Judge Nathan W. Hill, etc. Notice canceling. What is this? Identity preliminary detention hearing scheduled for May 21st was canceled. So everyone was expecting him to go to court, but I knew. So why didn't our government know that was canceled? Our government sent someone to New York to go and see him, and then came back making it look like they were refused from seeing him when he wasn't in New York. All right. So that notice was so the preliminary thing that they were going to do was canceled. All right. It was scheduled for the 21st, and that's when everyone is in the papers. Oh, where is he? He didn't show up to court. It was canceled. All right. Now remember that, because we're going to come back to that, because we see some stuff. All right. And we can only go on what we assume. All right. Endorse order granting 13 motion to substitute attorney. So he got rid of his attorney, and he got another one. So Joseph Flynn was terminated, and he got another attorney. And then waiver of rule by hearing. All right. So you saw that, and you saw that the thing with read in the papers and everyone was panicking, that was actually canceled. All right. I don't have a daily paper. I don't go live every day, so I couldn't come out there and just tell everyone, listen, man, y'all stop panicking. The thing was canceled. I don't know how our government doesn't know that. Um, I'm not one of their million consultants making all this money, so I could have helped them with that, but I'm not one of their consultants. Um, so now we're going to look at some documents relating to the stuff, to all of those stuff. So each one of them is a document. I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm going to go to the first one and the one where it was canceled because they're the most interesting one. But I have all of those documents in my possession. The first one, let me see. Okay, I'm going to pull up the first document that shows where he was arraigned and brought before the courts because it's very interesting with my amateur eyes. I'm going to show you what's up with that. Let me pull up the window. Okay. Okay, here it is. This is the first document, and this is very interesting since you want to know where he is. An initial appearance, say order of detention pending further proceedings. All right. So this is Jonathan R. Gardner, case number so and so, as you can see. Just let me show you the whole thing so people can see it. Now, this is interesting because it says initial appearance was held 15th of May, following facts, et cetera, et cetera. So this is initial appearance. Direction. Defendant is committed to the custody of the Attorney General or designated representatives for confinement in the corrections facility separate to the extent practicable, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So he was arraigned and put in the custody of the Attorney General to be put in a correctional facility. So that's understandable, right? So turn over to the Attorney General. Fine. Normal procedure, right? Okay. So there's transactions after this, but I'm gonna go straight to um, this one. This is the document where you saw the thing was canceled. Order of temporary detention. Make sure this is it. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So order of temporary detention, United States versus Eric Gardner, and it says an identity detention preliminary hearing. In this case, scheduled as follows, and that's when it was scheduled for. All right, May 21st. Remember, and this was that was, and it was supposed to be at the George C. Young Courthouse building in Orlando, Florida. And so our government sent someone all the way up to New York. I don't know. They could have just asked me and I would have told them. But May 21st is when it was supposed to go there. Now, watch this. At this point, it was canceled, but watch what happened here. Pending the hearing, the defendant is to be detained in the custody of the United States Marshals. Oh, that's interesting. Or any other authorized officer, but this he was put in the custody of the United States Marshal, and the United States Marshal custodian must facilitate the rest of this. So he was first in custody of the Attorney General, but now he's put in the custody of the United States Marshals. Why is that so important? You may ask. That's a good question. Can anyone tell me why that may be important? Not that the United States Marshals don't normally do these kinds of situations, but there's also a particular option that may be interesting for us. All right, AI. I have a question. If a witness wants to go into witness protection, would he be placed in the custody of the United States Marshal, or would the United States Marshals be responsible for him? Oops. I'm sorry, my volume was really down. Can you repeat that, please? I hope everyone heard that. So, in other words, yes, U.S. Marshals would be responsible. Um, U.S. Marshals would be responsible. I don't think you heard that. I had it pl- playing in my earbuds just now. Let me see if you heard it. No? Okay. Can you repeat that answer one more time, please?
Absolutely. When a witness enters witness protection, the U.S. Marshals are the ones responsible for them. They take care of the witness's safety, relocation, and setting up a new identity if needed.
Okay. Now, that's interesting. All right. So I hope you're seeing how I pieced that together just now. And the U.S. Marshals, that's not all they do, but if that is the case, and that's something that could happen, but we saw a case was supposed to happen, it looks like it was canceled, and you were put in the custody of the U.S. Marshals. Interesting. And so, does that mean that Eric Gardner is about to talk? Does it mean that he is now singing like a canary? Did he join the prison choir? Did he? Um, because he was placed into custody, and we also have that document. Let me see if I could pull that up for you. Now, of course, I redacted where he is in custody because if the government don't know, I'm not going to be the one to try to help them figure out where he is. That's on them to do that. Um, Let me see if I could get this. Yeah. So if they don't know, then they're paying for the wrong consultants. But I want you to see this. So what I did was um, I redacted where he is, and as you can see here, so he was booked in on the 20th. So he was actually booked in on the 20th. As you can see that this is him. They call him Eric Gardner, age 58. His race, his height, 5'11", 197 pounds. And he's a current inmate. That was up to May 20th. And as you can see on the 21st, he was turned over to U.S. Marshals, but that's his inmate number. And he's assigned facility. I redacted that myself. Arresting agency, U.S. Marshals, Orlando. And that's that's what it is. All right. And so I don't understand why our government couldn't figure this simple stuff out. So I guess they went to New York and they were crying about not being able to get access and that kind of stuff. That's absolute. That's interesting. Anyway, I'll just say it like that. It's interesting. And so Eric Gardner is not missing. No one has him somewhere waterboarding him or trying to get him to talk. Eric Gardner may be in a situation where he's decided to talk, and he was uh, under the Attorney General, and now he's with the U.S. Marshals. U.S. Marshals are responsible for many things, but one of those things is uh, witness protection. And so we don't know that to confirm that he's in witness protection, but that's something that you can deduce from that if you want to. Is up to you. But I'm just giving you all of the facts, and you can come to your own determination. So the question is, what do you think? Do you think that he's talked? We know that the last time he was in prison, they gave him 18 years, but he got out in 9 because he cooperated. And so, um, all right. Um, because he cooperated. So um, it appears like he may be about to do the same thing. So now I want to show you the background of Eric Gardner and why our country's in a serious situation. And then that will lead me to letting you know who is um, this politician number one. All right. And so we'll get to that in short order. And so let's get to it. So we got to look at some of Eric Gardner's background. Eric Gardner has been in the drug business for a very long time. He was a part of 90 Knowles gang. They were all a part of a gang. And we have documents, the US has documents, and we have documents from a long time ago, leading way back, showing the whole history of what's been going on. All right, with these drug dealers, even into the 90s, as far back as 1989, there are documents showing that Eric Gardner was in the drug business, and he was probably 20 or 21 in the drug business, years old. And so uh, it shows that he has a constant and complete history of drug dealing and money laundering. You're going to see documents here where the U.S. was worried about his money laundering connections and how they were buying out stuff and politicians and this kind of stuff. And with all of that knowledge, how could our government then go into business with someone with this kind of track record? And again, it wasn't just this PLP government. The F&M cabinet also authorized the PPP in 8 Mile Rock. The F&M allowed it to happen. It was signed the day before the election under Perry Christie. Minister took over, and then they gave him the PPP. All right, they allowed the loan that came in to enable it. And so let's go back, and then we'll come back to that, and then that's going to lead you directly to politician number one. So you all stay with me. Okay, we got perfect. We reached 10,000 persons on here live one time. That's 10,000. No, that's actually 100,000. Okay, so the whole Bahamas is watching. Um, so let's go. Now, I'm showing you documents that go way back. All right. Let's see how far back we go. Let's start all the way back and then we'll come back up. All right, to politician number one. All right. So we're gonna go here. So, my fellow Bahamians, let's go back. This should be it. Let's go here. Yes. All right. So the document that you're seeing on your screen right now is the Southern District of Florida, Miami. This is an old document from when they were convicted. Sorry, when there was an indictment and arrest in 2000. All right, U.S. versus Weish. All right, so Christopher Marvin Weish and also other persons who are part of this whole thing. This is from 2000. So this is not new matters. This is not the government. Our government could say, "Oh, we didn't know when we got into business." This isn't that any banking institution or anyone else could say that we didn't know. Because if you don't have all your ducks together today, they banks will deal with you. So here, persons Chris Eric Reese, Eric Gardner, as you can see, aka Player, Corey Roll, aka Smuggler, um, also aka Corey Brown, Ricardo Kelly, aka Cardo, Godfrey Charlton, Samuel Knowles, aka 90. So this shows that all of them are in the same gang. And so 90 was extradited. Our government knows that Eric Gardner was a part of 90's gang because this is public document. And so you know that this fellow was a part of 90's gang from all the way back in the day. All of them are close associates of 90. Brave was 90's lawyer. So obviously Brave knows about this. How do you get this guy to be building government subdivisions? How do you get them to be building government housing and government buildings? Laundering our taxpayers' money, our good, decent Christian taxpayers' money with these people. So the government of the Bahamas knows that Eric Gardner was associated with 90 Knowles. This government that extradited 90 illegally, but still extradited him, um, knows his background. But yet, it was okay to do business and have our taxpayer dollars used for money laundering. All right. And the other ones are Tremaine Major, Pedro Pinda, and Trevor Roberts, aka Crucial. All right. And so this shows all the different charges that they had, all the different counts. Um, and so I'll just scroll through it. You can see it. You can see their names. Um, and so these was big shipments they were dealing with. Just all right, and they took $19.5 million from them. Um, and back in the '90s, that was some good money. All right. Um, and so this is the first document. So this is going way back, and let me show you some of the dates on there so you could see um, that this goes way back. So yeah, from a date unknown, but at least as early as in about June 1995. All right. So and April 1996. So this is showing you that these guys have been involved in this kind of stuff for a very long time. Now, this isn't a new thing. All right. You can see 1995, et cetera, et cetera. And so this has been going on for a long time. My biggest concern here, ladies and gentlemen, this isn't against some Bahamian fellas who may have gone wrong. All of us have sinned and fall short. None of us are perfect. This isn't about that for me. This is about the fact that our government should not be tied to criminality. That is what this thing is about for me. Don't mix this up. I don't know Eric Gardner. I'm not against him. I'm not against 90 Knowles or any of these people. Anyone whose name was called on there. There's some Bahamians who went astray. All of us have gone astray at some point in our lives. My thing is that the government should not be money laundering, should not be involved with drugs and drug dealing. That's going to lead us to petition. So I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to bring you a little closer in time. So that was 2000. They had some convictions on that. They said the fella talked and was able to get released early. And this is another one I'm about to show you. All right. This is another one I'm about to show you. All right. So we're about to show you. Yes. So this is another document. Now, this one is from 2005. As you can see, it's stamped right here, 2005. All right. And you can see the players again: Eric Gardner, Dewey Davis, Danny Davidson. Also, all of these people are here. Griffith, um, Francis. So all these people are here. So this is another document, and it shows all of the different counts. So that was stuff from the 90s. In fact, it went down to 1989, to the 90s, to 2000, to 2005. All right. And this is Eric Gardner, aka Foster Vincent Marsh, aka Player, aka P. They got all of his aliases. All right. So the US got all of his aliases, but the Bahamas government don't. All right. And so they got all these people here. And this is a 58-page indictment with all kinds of counts. So I can't go through all of this. Um, but again, you can see if you look at the bottom of it, it's going to show you where the concern is particularly the money laundering part of it. Um, there's a lot of counts. That's 32 I'm up to now. But the money laundering part of it, and there's a lot in this. I can't show you all of this, but we'll make it available to who wants to get it. And from this, there's a DEA release on this. So I'm going to show you that DEA release that shows you what their major concern was in all of this. All right. And before I show you this DEA release, what's most concerning for right thinking Bahamians? All right. Not the paid political trolls, but the right thinking Bahamians. What's most concerning is that all of these investigations are done by foreign powers, not in the Bahamas. How could something of this magnitude be going on in the Bahamas and we don't know? How is it that they do sting operations and we don't? If you want to know who is selling fake passports, shouldn't you do a sting operation where you get some Haitian who's going to be a confidential informant, get them to go buy from someone you suspect or try to find out where they could get it from, and then you break the ring? Isn't that how law enforcement all over the world works? That's how it works. How come it never happens in the Bahamas? Because it's happening from the government officials. That's why. I don't want you to think that our voters' cards were sold and only that small fry knew what was going on, and he was on a rogue mission of his own. I'll explain that better to you when I reveal to you who is politician number one. I'll explain to you how it works. How come they're not doing the drug stings right here, the undercover operations? I'm not talking about in partnership with anybody else. We should be doing that, but we're not doing that because the politicians are involved in the criminality. When I was telling people about this, they were like, "Oh, Lincoln, man, that's too extreme. That can't be true. That can't be right." But it's true. The politicians are directly involved. And now all is coming to light. I've been saying this now for years, and people weren't listening. I told them there were police officers involved in this stuff, there were politicians involved in this stuff, and now it's coming to light. Bahamas, if we don't get it together, we are going to lose our country because we are sitting back and allowing it to happen. Let's continue. So, this is what the DEA felt about this. So, this was Drug Enforcement Administration. This was in December 8, 2005. So, we got our hands on this document, just how we got our hands on the dossier the other day. But this is a DEA dismantles large international drug and money laundering organization. You hear what they call that? It was talking about Eric Gardner, etc. So they have considered this a large international drug and money laundering organization. But somehow we end up in business as a country with this large money laundering organization. So they're talking about everything that happened. They talk about the operation. They call it Operation Cali Exchange, et cetera, et cetera. But I marked this down here for you to see what's going on. They said this was from Colombia, Brazil, Dominican Republic, Panama, and the Bahamas. This was a big operation. But I want you to see this. Right here where I marked it. It says drug traffickers are using their profits to borrow into our neighborhoods and corrupt legitimate banking systems. Do you see that? This is Eric Gardner them. Said DA Administrator Karen P. Tandy. In major drug trafficking organizations, money is the thread that unravels the drugs and devastation otherwise hidden by dealers. DEA knows where money leads, and we will be relentless in going after it. All right? During the course, so they are finding ways to get money into the banking system. But it appears now that our government, through these RICO like behavior, us aided and abetted these fellas laundering money into our system. I'm going to show you more about that in a minute. Aided and abetted by giving contracts to companies owned by this drug dealer and others. All right? In any other country, they would be riding in the streets right now. This is not acceptable. This should not happen in any decent civilization. This is not to say that drug dealing shouldn't or wouldn't happen in any country, But this is to say that our government should not be involved in it. Our commissioner of police should not be involved in it. I'm not talking about our present commissioner or anything or whatever. I'm just saying that a commissioner of police shouldn't be involved. Police officers shouldn't be involved. Defense force officers shouldn't be involved. Our banks shouldn't be involved in this. And we should not be legalizing businesses to help to launder illegal drug and people smuggling money. Pastor Mario Moxie, I stand with you. During the course of this investigation, DA agents and their international partners discovered that this organization coordinated and provided maritime transportation of drugs and money through the Caribbean corridor. Uh, One defendant, Eric Gardner, led the Panama based operation. See that? And was arrested Tuesday in the Dominican Republic, according to the charges in the indictment. Gardner funneled a large quantity of currency through the U.S. banking system into bank accounts in Panama. Other Does Eric Gardner have any bank accounts in Panama? Well, they say he does, but does he have any that's connected to politician in Bahamas? I heard he does. What politician does Eric Gardner share a bank account with? Politician number two. Okay, let's keep going. Other members of the organization arrested in the Dominican Republic include uh, Rogelio Griffith, a Panamanian national, and Tyrone Russell of the Bahamas. Gardner is also a Bahamian national. These three defendants will be immediately sent to Miami to face prosecution. All right. Um, and then they talk about how they got money back to Colombia, et cetera, et cetera. Other defendants in the investigation include Colombian national Lopez and Davis, an American from Miami. Davis is a Gardner associate who also laundered drug proceeds and trafficked cocaine in Miami for the organization. And they were all arrested in Miami. All right. Restraining orders have been executed on 28 domestic bank accounts and three Miami residences, eight vehicles, boats, et cetera, et cetera. So any property you have, buildings, et cetera, it's supposed to be seized. All right. Um, Next, that brings us to, and that's what they said. Their concern was money laundering. Their concern was that I'm sure that as a partner with America with this drug dealing and people smuggling stuff, that our government knew the concern. They knew the issue. So how did our government get in bed and in business with Eric Player Gardner? How? All right. And so let's go to another document. And this is the present complaint. Now, you've seen some of this in the news recently. Now, this is a complaint, not the indictment yet. All right. And so, of course, they would have needed a complaint in order to hold him. All right. Good. There we go. So, all right. So, this is the complaint that you've all heard of and you've all seen. Let me go to the top of it so you can see which document I'm reading from. This is the United States Court, Southern District of New York, United States of America versus John and Eric Gardner. Complaint, violation of sex, et cetera, et cetera. All right. And so these are the different counts against Mr. Gardner. But this has a lot of information in it about how they operated. But I want to go down to the most important part. We've had drug dealers for years. There's nothing new. But I want to show you the part that has brought our country into disrepute. All right, and that's here. And so they're talking about the confidential source 3 and 2. They're saying they've been deemed reliable and corroborated by other evidence, including recorded communications described therein. So they've had recorded communications during this whole process. All right, including what I'm about to show you. Before, what was I just doing? Okay, I was reading the footnotes. Hold on. Between at least in or about July 2024 and November 2024, members of the DTO, all right, that's a drug trafficking organization, engaged in discussions with CS3, that's confidential source, 3, and others about the importation of approximately 900 to 1,000 kilograms of cocaine through the Bahamas and onward to the United States for sale there, before repatriating the proceeds back to the Bahamas. So obviously, the proceeds is going to the Bahamas. All right. During these conversations, many of which were audio and or video recorded, Colombia-based drug trafficker Orozco Toro, one of the charged defendants, confirmed, among other things, that the DTO drug trafficking organization could provide CS3 with ton quantity shipments of cocaine, and that the DTO had the support and the protection of Bahamian government officials and high ranking politicians, including a particular politician number one, who could provide security for the planned cocaine shipment. During one particular video recorded meeting on or about September 3rd, 2024, um, Orozco Toro and CS3 were discussing details of shipping a large amount from Colombia through the Bahamas and the roles and responsibilities of different members of the DTO. Toro said, among other things, that he was in direct communication with Eric, that is Gardner, Role, that's the character that's interested in all of this. Role is the PLP general in Bimini. He's the PLP general in Bimini, who was named in the previous indictment that saw police officer, defense officer, taken to New York. All right, arrested in Miami and taken to New York. Um, and other members of the DTO referred to Gardner by his nickname Player, said that Gardner was currently building government buildings and claimed that you all see that? This is a New York, Southern District of New York complaint. Said that Gardner was currently building government buildings with an S, and claimed that Gardner was reportedly trying to keep his involvement below the radar of law enforcement. Did y'all see that? In connection with the planned 900 to 1,000 kilogram deal during in-person meetings in the Bahamas on or about early October 2 and 3, 2024, drug pilot Ferguson, that's Donald Ferguson, drove CS3 and Rule. Rule, again, is Devon Rule. They call him Ravi. right? That's Devon Rule, right, from Bimini. Drove, so Donald Ferguson, the pilot, and the confidential informant, sorry, the drug pilot drove both of them to the Bahamian Parliament building in downtown Nassau, the Bahamas, where they met with politician one. Roll introduced, so the PLP general from Bimini, who is actually watching this right now, introduced CS3 to politician one as his future associate. Okay? So Rule said to politician one, this one is my future associate, and explained to politician one in sum and substance that CS3 would need to have his work guaranteed if CS3 were to work with the drug trafficking organization. Wow. During a meeting on or about November 6, 2024, among CS3, RBD Petty Officer Roca, who was already convicted, and Roll, DJ Ferguson, that's Donald, and others regarding the planned cocaine shipment, Roca accepted a payment of approximately $20,000 to assist CS3 and the CS3's purported drug association with the cocaine shipment. Jesus. I don't know if y'all realize what y'all just saw. Hmm. But this is serious. And so this is where we get to politician number one. See, someone here says the number of viewers dropping because I've been called a politician name. I'm about to do that now, but they're not dropping. They're moving from my Facebook page to YouTube. So it's increased. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the conversation. This has happened in our parliament. So, in connection with the planned 900 to 1,000 kilogram deal during in person meetings in the Bahamas on or about early October 2nd, 3rd, 2024, drug pilot Ferguson drove CS3 and Ravi Rule or Devon Rule to the Bahamian Parliament building. Do you know how serious this is? In downtown Nassau, the Bahamas, where he met with politician one, who we're about to reveal. Roll introduced CS3 to politician one as his future associate and explained to politician one, in sum and substance, that CS3 would need to have his work guaranteed if CS3 were to work with the DTO. During a meeting on or about November 6, 2024, among CS3, RBDF, Petty Officer Roca, Rule, DJ Ferguson, and others regarding the planned cocaine shipment. And so, in other words, there was a subsequent meeting. So the first meeting at Parliament was to say that, listen, we need to guarantee everything go through and everything gets straight. And then a subsequent meeting, they planned the shipment and payment of approximately, and they gave a payment towards this. All right. And so this brings us back to the present day. Ladies and gentlemen, based on conversations I have had with persons who were present in Parliament when the meeting took place, the politician number one is alleged by these persons to be Mr. Kingsley Smith. Kingsley Smith was the member of parliament of, at the time, of Ravi Rule, Devon Rule. Devon Rule has admitted to me that he did indeed take these confidential informants to the House of Assembly to meet with Kingsley Smith. And that at that meeting was a preliminary meeting, and then there was a subsequent meeting afterwards, just like this says. I cannot speak to what they said in the House of Assembly, but I can speak to the fact that Devon Ravi Rule and others have admitted to me that Kingsley Smith is the person, of course, it's their allegation, that met with the confidential informants. And so one would say, why would they meet with Kingsley Smith allegedly? He's not a big boy. Um, he is not able to make decisions on his own. You have to understand how politics works, and everyone actually involved in politics at this time would know how this works. The bigger politicians let the smaller ones do the dirty work. The newbies do the dirty work. So that if something happens, they can say, oh, that was a rogue person on their own, and it doesn't affect the party. And so the big guy, just like it's done in the mafia, never gets his hands dirty. And that's why they had to bring out the RICO charge, because you'll never get them to say that Al Capone killed the person or Al Capone moved the drugs. And so that's why they brought out, America invented the RICO charges, because the big boy keeps his hands clean. So you're not going to say you met with Ingram. You could say you met with Boogaloo, for example, or someone else. You're not going to say you met with Minutes. You're going to say you met with Joshua Sayers or someone else. They always have their other man that you meet with, and then and so you know that he's connected enough so that you know that your whatever agreement you make is actually going through to the big man, but you're not going to be able to link him directly with the big man, and that's how this works. And so I was told, but you know, it can't be true because Kingsley Smith travels. He's been traveling to the U.S. Um, there are many persons who travel to the U.S. They don't hit you until they want to hit you. Kingsley Smith, I need you to explain to the public why a known uh, person who was accused of being a drug facilitator, meaning Ravi Rule, Devon Rule, who was named in the previous Curtis indictment, named as one of those who was wanted, was able to bring the drug dealer to you, or the DA agent, or whoever he was, to you to have any kind of discussions. And you need to explain what these discussions were. It's time for us to get our country back in order, Bahamas. Now, I've been told what the repercussions are going to be. They're going to come at me. They're going to charge me, sue me, do this, do that. I am willing to be the sacrificial lamb for us to get our country back in order. They said they're going to come on the farm and take all our property and send the bulldozers, and they're going to attack us and attack all the people who associated with me by going on the farm. Listen, what I'm most concerned about is our country that is under attack. Okay? So, Kingsley Smith, it is also alleged that it was your name on the envelope with the money. What was this for? Now, here is my advice And I am going to open the phone lines. But here is my advice to Devon Ravi Rule and anyone else involved in this. Turn yourselves in and speak what you know. We got to save our country, Bahamas. I do not believe that you voted for corruption. I do not believe that. I believe that the election was stolen. We intend on fighting this in the courts, but of course, they know that these court matters cost a lot of money. We're trying to raise funds. We haven't received any as yet, but we're trying to raise funds in order to doing that. And because we believe that the election was stolen. We believe that there were persons who voted in our election who should not have voted in our election. Illegal persons who cannot vote in our election. We'll get to that another time. But on that alone, our election is void. Because people who could not renounce voted in our election who should not have citizenship. But to the point, I want you to understand they always use a lower politician to do the dirty work. So if you want to get to Perry, you go to Kalis or one of the new boys. That's how this works. But right now, the world is looking at our politics sideways. But the biggest concern that they are having is that the media is sold out. So the media is not going to speak, that there is no strong voice in the Bahamas, that they silence you, they victimize you, or they buy you out. And so the biggest concern is the opposition is weak. I had more documents to show you, but I'm going to leave that for another live about the connection between all of these people, the connection with this company, Top Notch, and what's going on there. But no one is saying nothing because of either money or personal gain or connections. Do you all know that? I mean, Kwesi Thompson is married to Eric Player Gardner's niece. That doesn't mean that her or him are doing anything wrong, but I don't hear Kwesi talking about this. I don't. I don't see the F&M really standing up for the Bahamian people on this. I don't. And so the biggest concern of the international community is that the Bahamas right now, the people have handcuffs. So you remember when uh, Iran, Trump and those attacked Iran and they told the people, now y'all got to rise up. We got rid of leadership. Now y'all got to rise up because they need you to do it. They can't seem to be interfering in a sovereign nation. That's against international law. They need you, the Bahamian people, to stand up. It's time to stand up, Bahamas. We cannot have our reputation go like this. To all of our pastors, I know you got board positions. I know you got crown land. They gave you some crown land. But that doesn't mean that we should accept what is wrong. That's your crown land anyway. That's all ours. But don't let bribes, like the Bible say, silence you, corrupt you. Kingsley Smith, if what uh, the alleged drug dealer is alleging about you being the person he took there, sorry, took the CI, sorry, CS32, if that is true, you have some answering to do. We tired of this country being run the way it's run. It's corrupt from head to tail. And so I expect you all to come at me. I expect you all to have everything in the world to say with me. I expect whatever it is y'all want to do. But what I expect is some resignations to happen now. From top to bottom. Mr. Prime Minister, If these stuff happened under your watch, you should resign now. It's the Westminster system. If a drug deal went down in the House of Parliament on your watch, you should resign now. Madam Speaker of the House, love you. God bless you. But if that happened in the House of Assembly on your watch, you should resign. Minister of National Security, you should resign. Attorney General, you should resign. Jobette Kobe Davis, the housing contracts and government contracts were issued to Eric Gardner on your watch, or companies he has influence in on your watch, you must resign. It is a must under the Westminster system. But they never follow the Westminster system because they know that the Bahamian people will not hold them to account, and the opposition is in bed with them. What the COI is doing right now is what the leader of the opposition should be doing. They should be presenting these documents, and they should have the integrity to stand with us and hold their foot to the fire. But instead, we get silence. We get told that we're too aggressive. Isn't it time to get aggressive when your House of Parliament is being used as a drug house? It's time for a commission of inquiry. Dr. Minnis said a commission of inquiry would be a waste of time. And that's why we sent you into retirement. Right thinking Bahamians, stand with me. I'm not doing this for any political advantage. Election is over. It's over. But I'm asking you to stand with me. I can stand out in the front, I can take the licks, but we got to do something about it. Bahamas, what we could do? We could just let them keep going in our honorable house, wearing their fancy suits and big hats, dancing the night away. While this is going on, let me tell you what's so important about that drug deal, potential drug deal, and why the conversation with Kingsley was so important. So, the the drug dealer rule informed me that when the informant first came, he was talking about taking over, um, well, the GIN project. All right, the GIN project, and so that's what they wanted to talk about. The GIN project. Do you all understand why that is so serious? Remember, Bimini and West Grandmama was one at the time. And so he was connected. There's all kinds of pictures with him, with Kingsley Smith during the by-election, and pictures with him with uh, Fred Mitchell, etc., and other PLPs, because he is the general down there. But do you know why they were talking about the GIN project and buying the whole thing? Do you remember Joe Leader in in Norman's Key? Do you remember what the importance of Norman's Key was? It had an airport, and they could use it to get drugs closer to the US. Do you know that Ginn has the longest airport strip in the country? Did you know that? And so the reason they talking to Kingsley appears to be because there's an airport right there in Old Bahama Bay, which is a part of the Ginn project. And drugs can fly. Time as they take off, they just land. That's how close West End is to Florida. Do you understand that? That's the importance of talking to the MP for the area. And you all put him right back there. But guess what? Bahamians are going to sit down and let this happen. And let me tell you what happens when a people of a nation let their leaders continue to do darkness and don't challenge them. America starts to go after to to squeeze the country. This happens historically. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's something wrong with it, but it's normal. They started to squeeze the country. Remember what happened to Cuba? You started to squeeze the country so that the people would rise up. You started to squeeze Iran so that the people would rise up. You started to squeeze Venezuela with the most oil in the world. They should be a very wealthy country, but you start to squeeze them so that Bahamas, y'all are about to be squeezed because you allowed these people to go back in office. Stay tuned. If America had three confidential informants, three agents, and a whole operation targeting politicians, don't you think that's because they felt the politicians were corrupt, the officials was corrupt, and that they were trying to do something about it because it was affecting their country? Don't you think that's the case? They know our government was corrupt. We just either stayed home or allowed them to steal election. And what does that mean? If I take my warning, that means the squeeze is about to happen. How it's going to come, I can't say. But I don't think America is going to sit down there for another 5 years and just let what has been happening. Drugs are being smuggled from Colombia and Venezuela into Haiti, smuggled then into the Bahamas, and then smuggled into America. Do you think that they're going to sit right there and let that continue to happen? I don't think so. All right. Now, I want to show you West Grand Bahama. I want to show you West Grand Bahama. I'm going to show you West Grand Bahama. Just pulling it up. Just give me a second. Okay. Set to move the map because it'll show my location. All right. Let me make sure this will show my. Okay, there we go. All right. Let me share this. All right. So this is West Grand Bahama. What's happening here? Okay, I lost my screen. Okay, you can still see it. This is West Grand Bahama, and this is West Palm Beach. Right, a straight line straight to West Palm Beach. That's how easy it is to get over there. Now we're gonna zoom in to West Grand Bahama. All right, gonna keep zooming in, keep zooming in. Keep zooming in. Let's go down a little bit. Okay. West End Airport. This right here is a full runway. No, it's not clear because I guess some internet thing is going on right now or some performance thing on my device. This long runway, see how long this is? This long runway is the runway and the airport at West Grand Bahama, West End on the Gin project. So sorry. Okay, we're losing that. All right. So I wanted you to see that. You can go on Google Maps and look for it yourself, but that's what's going on. So that's what makes sense the right thing in people that it could have possibly been Kingsley Smith. So we need to understand what's going on. All right. I'm going to open the phone lines now. Again, there's more that connects Gardner to this government and all this kind of stuff, and the money laundering has been going on and all that. I don't have enough time in one show to do that. Plus, I want to change locations in a minute very quickly. But I'm going to open the phone lines right now for you. You can call regular line or WhatsApp call. 8035995 is the number. 8035995. What do you think about what you just saw? What do you think about our government being implicated? Um, the role guy said that when they met in the house, they didn't talk about drugs. All right, they didn't talk about drugs. They talked about the part of it of them taking over the gain location, just so I could give what was given to me. Um, the talks kind of switched to later though to hold the line call. I'll get right with you. The talk kind of switched to initially they didn't talk about drugs. They talked about the Gin project, which included an airport. And then later they added the drug conversation to it. Um, and so yeah, and so that's the situation there. All right. So let me just mic up this phone. Okay. So I hope you'll be able to. So if you can't hear the caller, just let me know so we could get them in there properly. All right. Put your. All right. Uh, caller. Hold on, caller. Oh, call you live. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Okay, we lost that call. All right. 8035995. 8035995 is the number. 8035995. Call me. Let's have the conversation. Let's talk about this. How do you all feel about the fact that, you see, in the Pinland era, they were accused of being paid to turn a blind eye, to pretend that Norman's Key didn't exist, to let them do what they wanted to do. But in this era, it's like government officials are involved. Call you live. Go ahead. Go ahead, call you live. We can't hear them for some reason. Caller, you live. Go ahead. Okay, we lost that caller. Caller, you live. Go ahead.
So Lincoln,
Good day.
why you believe the politician one is Kingsley Smith though?
As I said, he is allegedly Kingsley Smith because the person who took him to the House of Assembly told me that it is Kingsley Smith, that he took Kingsley to the House of Assembly to meet with the confidential informant and whoever else.
So why you think the US don't want release the name? Why they keep darkening the name?
That's normally what they do in these kinds of cases. They always redact names of persons they haven't arrested yet.
Interesting. So is the government just gonna ignore it, or they gonna wait until the U.S. just finally tell everybody who it is?
Um, our government,
Yeah, our government.
if our government is implicated, they're just going to make excuses and call everyone liars and say that, there's entrapment and whatever else, and then just leave it alone.
That's interesting. How does that affect our country? How does that affect me as a everyday citizen?
It's going to affect you in short order. I don't know what the response is going to be, but it's going to affect you. I mean, if our entire government is corrupt, that's going to affect us. That could affect us traveling. That could affect other sanctions that could be put on us. Look at every other country where this kind of stuff happened. Now, what I noticed is that they released that there was some situation with the previous case, but guess what? There was no investigation, no commission of inquiry, or no internal investigation in this country to determine if there was a member of parliament who collected $200. Now we could just say, "Oh, they ain't true. America making it up." We could say what we want, but we didn't do an investigation. In fact, we had a
Correct.
response from our government saying, "Oh, it was entrapment." How do you know that if we didn't do an investigation?
Yeah, I remember when
It
the prime
sounds
minister
like
made
it
that
sounds
statement.
like just a response. And
Correct.
so what we need is a responsible response to say, okay, we've investigated and we feel that this is entrapment. Not, oh, we got to ask America what they're talking about. No, no, no. The response should be that we are going to investigate. And we're going to get to the bottom of this, and heads are going to roll.
Agreed.
All right? And so the same thing, we left that alone, and now we're seeing that another situation happened where an MP met with a person who was indicted in the U.S., Mr. Rule, and other persons, the confidential informants from the U.S. in the House of Assembly. There must not only
Interesting.
not be corruption, but we must avoid the appearance of corruption. How are you meeting with this in our House of Assembly? How are you meeting with them at all?
Agreed.
All right, my brother.
All right. Thanks for taking my call, man.
All right. 803-5995. 803-5995 is the number. Okay. What's the weird number you calling from? Call you live. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Ben. How you doing, sir?
I'm awesome.
Mr. Ben, I really think that you should look into the files of Dominic Roberts, the deceased son of Bradley Roberts, and the brother of Bobby Roberts, who went down in a plane crash with a shipment of drugs some years ago. This drug connection runs deeper than we think.
Okay.
Um,
All right. Thank you, man.
Also, let's look at Bobby Roberts, who was the chairman of Nassau Flight Services. Allegedly, employees were talking about a legal transaction taking place, ordered by Bobby Roberts, the chairman at the time.
Okay. All right. That definitely be something that you'll have to look into. All right. Thank you for your call. Firstly, I don't know anything about Obi Roberts or anything illegal that he did at the airport. Um, and so I think that's just allegations on that person's part. Uh, Call you live. Go ahead.
Hey, Lincoln, what's going on? It's Zion, the old prophet.
Hey, Prophet.
Listening to your live today, you know what come to my mind? Now we can understand why Lynx was killed in West End. With the same situation right now. He probably is standing in the way of the Kin project. And they don't want to get rid of him because it all sounds like they're coming together now.
Yes, it's all making sense. I know we had a situation there where the owners of some of those properties was having issues with other persons, and we came in there and caused interference, stop what was happening from continuing to happen, and so we were in the way. And Lynx was the strong man there, making sure that nothing could go down there, and he got in the way. And then he went and called player's name to deal with that school and what was going on with the school. You'll remember that made ZNS news.
Yes, sir.
And next thing we know, Lynch was killed, and they made it appear to be an accident, and the police wasn't even trying to investigate it, which was even more concerning. And we investigated, and in our investigations, everything started to point, and again, this is allegations, point toward Eric Player Gardner.
Mm. Okay,
Yeah.
my brother. Good job.
All right, man. Call you live. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Mr. President, what you saying?
I'm a live man.
Hello?
Hello. Go ahead.
What you saying, Mr. President?
I'm alive.
You know who this is?
Go ahead, man. Go ahead. I need to talk
Yeah,
quick because
yeah,
other people won't get through.
this Craig, this Curry, man. I just
Hey, what's up, my
give me a
brother?
call after the show. I on your side. I on your side of town.
Okay.
Give me a call when you finish the show.
All right. I'm not in the Bahamas.
I on your side of town. That's what I telling you.
Okay.
I'm not in the Bahamas either. I'm on your side of town.
Okay.
All right.
Are you in New York?
No, not
Okay.
particularly.
We'll
Give me a
talk
call
later.
when the show.
We'll talk later.
Yeah, all right.
All right.
Yeah.
Call you live. Go ahead. Hold on. Call you live. Go ahead. Sorry, it's ringing in the background. I don't know. Okay. Go ahead. Call you live. Go ahead, caller. So much people are calling at once. It's causing WhatsApp and the regular call the glitch. Call you live. Go ahead. Okay, I hang up on everyone. So y'all can call back now. 803-5995. 803-5995. Okay, it started to ring and it stopped. Wow, this is glitching heavy. Okay. Oh, we lost you again. Someone had a class. Okay, hold on. Everything is ringing at the same time. So sorry about that. Call you live. Go ahead.
Hey, Mr. Ben, I just timing the show on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I hear what you're saying with West End, and like everything, like you say, coming together, and it's really a shame on this present government. They're not doing anything. They're not saying anything, and I mean, it's crazy. But you hitting the nail right on the head with everything what you're saying. And I've never seen. I mean, the government is not even pressing the police force to do an investigation.
No.
And being a former police, just like yourself, when I talk about corruption, I mean, and even within the force, and I don't care how they want to put it or say it, but underneath Gerald Bartlett, underneath BK Barnaby, Parkinson, Reginald Ferguson, I mean, this police force. Listen, all I can say, my brother, just continue doing what you're doing because you hit the nail right on the head. The U.S. know just what they're doing now. The U.S. know what they're doing, and when they're ready, they gonna reel in everybody. And as you can see, the cards are crumbling now with this exercise. You know, this was a what they say, what 3-4 year operation what they had going on.
Yeah.
Now it's come to an end. What they doing? And I could say some more as to my part in the force, but I know how it works. Right
Yeah.
now, they putting the pieces. They don't have the pieces of the puzzle together. Now they reeling everybody in, and
Yeah.
you know, nobody saying nothing. I mean, but you
Yeah.
continue to do what you're doing, my brother.
I hear you
That's
saying
what happened.
continue, but I mean, how much more of this you want me to take? They now
I
threatening me.
would,
They
but brother
threatening my
Ben, I would.
life. They threatening to lock me up. They threatening to destroy the farm and kick all us off the farm, the land.
Man, but you need a voice like you. Even though the Bible says you might be a voice crying in the wilderness, but people hearing you, you know, my brother. People hearing you. Right now, you know, the election has gone, the election has passed, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean? People have spoken, but they you know, but all I can say is continue doing what you're doing. And I mean, I know it's hard. But you already this course you already taken up, a mantle you already take up. Now all I can say is continue to fight the fight, and plenty will tell you the same thing. I don't know how much more juice you got left in you, but you want target with what you're saying and what you're doing. That's
Thank
all
you,
I can
man.
tell you.
Thank you.
All right,
God
all right.
bless. All right. We lost all those other calls. You can call now, 803-5995, 803-5995. Yeah, so it looks like that was the whole deal of it. I saw recently they hired a rapist who used to be a police officer, a known alleged rapist, someone who's charged with rape, I'll say, to start attacking me with reference to these Old Hammer Bay situations. But of course, uh, we now starting to understand because they wanted to make a move. Caller, you live. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Lincoln Dane.
Good afternoon.
Calling, calling to ask a question.
Yes.
For somebody like him to be so comfortable to conduct that kind of business in the House of Parliament, do you believe there's a bigger fish that would have authorized for him to feel so comfortable to do that there?
That's what I explained earlier. That they use the rookies. It's almost like a hazing. They use the rookies to do the dirty work, so that if something happened, the rookie gets destroyed, and it doesn't affect the party and the big bosses. That's how the mafia operates. That's why they have RICO, and that's why I believe a RICO case is being organized right now with reference to this whole thing. And if a RICO case is being organized with reference to this, it's going to be very difficult for anyone to escape. But that's how they operate in those situations. The big politician keeps his hand clean, and he has someone else to do the dirty work. All of us know that's how it's done. So he's a small fish.
And so you believe this RICO code case will then expose the bigger fish, though, in this instance, eventually they
Yes,
will
one
be
of two things
exposed.
happens. Either they get locked up, or they sometimes what I don't like what more powerful governments do is they use it to influence the other one just to get them to do their bidding instead of bringing justice. I hope that doesn't happen in this case. I hope that justice comes and the chips fall wherever they may. But we'll see what happens.
Okay, Mr. Ben, you hit on something that I thought of a while ago, that this could actually be used as leverage to negotiate
Yeah.
and to push what I believe is a bigger plan in order to secure the Bahamas, because it is so close to the U.S. and possibly a part of the United States territory. But that's a whole nother conspiracy theory.
Yeah, well, it's a theory. So, more a more realistic theory would be that, listen, we don't want China having any influence right next door. So we see all this we got on you, behave, or we're gonna deal with you. And so that's could be something that happens, but we hope that someone is dealt with in this whole thing.
I hope so too. I really hope so too. And I hope one of the bigger things I think that you exposed that I think needs to be dealt with is the money laundering.
Yeah,
That's
that's
huge. That's a
yeah.
big part of the problem, because that's where you service a lot of big drug rings. They have to launder the money.
Yeah, well, drugs can't operate without money. But thank you for your call, all right?
Thank you.
All right. 803-5995, 803-5995. You can call us and say what you have to say about this whole thing. Call you live. Go ahead. Go ahead, call you live.
Got into what you said on election day. You made mention saying that we're having income tax. I wanted to know why do you think that?
Because the IDB has already put that in their suggestions, and whenever you see them do that, it's because you're moving in that direction. We see that the government couldn't pay its bills. We saw they were struggling to pay bills in their last year or so, or even more. And we saw the situation that our country was in. And once the IDB says suggests something, you're headed in that direction. I also heard the leader of the opposition say that that's the direction that they were going in at this convention. And remember when VAT was coming, the IDB had done the same thing, said that we need to implement VAT, etc. First they denied it, and then about a year or a little over a year later, we had VAT. And so that's the direction we're going in, and I still feel like we're heading that direction.
Okay, I have one more question.
Go
Do
ahead.
you think our passport will drop, um, and our dollar will drop based on um, continuous borrowing, and then with our negotiations with the Chinese, like the U.S. can go against us? You think like that could be? I mean, it's possible, but you think that it's like headed that way directly?
Yeah, it can, but that doesn't have the effect that you think. Many people think that the dollar, the value of the dollar is the biggest thing in terms of the economy. It's not a marker of your economy. It is a marker of how much reserves you have to justify pegging it to the US dollar. So, for example, our dollar is more valuable in Canada. Our economy is nowhere near Canada's economy. So the dollar value isn't what people think it is. Our dollar value is more than China. All right, 7 times more than China, but it is not. It is not on that same level. Is not on that. We're not on that same level economically with China. I saw someone called me just now, and big time F&M called me just now. Ed Curling. I know what he's calling about. Um, but but yes, we could lose dollar value based on using our foreign reserves to pay off the debt. But and that's why when they talk about the debt, they talk about local debt and foreign debt, because the foreign debt affects your reserves, which could affect your the price of your dollar. All right, but it's a deeper economic conversation. I don't want to go in that direction in this live. Okay.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Okay.
Person call back. Call you live. Go ahead. Go ahead. Call you live.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, we lost him. 803-5995. 803-5995 is the number. Give us a call. Call you live. Go ahead.
Hey, I just need to ask a question.
Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, don't listen to your TV. Just listen to the phone. That's a delay.
Hello.
Yeah, don't listen to your TV. Just listen to your phone. The TV is delayed.
I don't have a TV on.
Whatever else you have on that's playing, don't listen to that.
I just need to ask a question.
Turn that down.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Yeah. Don't listen to your TV. Just listen to the phone. That's a delay.
Go ahead, caller.
Listen to your TV. Just listen to your phone. The TV is delayed. I don't. All right. My question is there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Um, I want to know about the connection between Gardner and Joe Beth Colby Davis. I understand that their name is on a bank account with over $20 million.
Yeah, that's that. Of course, you mean allegedly. I've seen document flying around. I can't confirm that document. You know, whenever I talk about something, it's because I have some firm evidence of that, and that's
Right.
my reputation. I've seen some document flying around that I can't confirm, so I haven't spoken to it. That's something that I would have to investigate, and once I investigate that, I'm going to speak to what I know. I know that Joe Bet was living in Grand Bahama, and Eric Gardner is from Grand Bahama, and there's a connection there. We could get more details on that in a future live, but there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, even we have heard allegations that the minister of finance was once an officer or director in one of Eric Gardner's companies.
Right.
All right. Now, what these kinds of people do is they get good people and reputable people to work with them to legitimize themselves to banks, et cetera, et cetera. All
Right.
right. We saw, we have information about, well, we saw documents where a former, I think, chairman or CEO of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce was on, a board with this guy. We see where that person traveled to China with Eric Gardner.
Right.
All right. How do you get these kinds of reputable people traveling with you to China to do business together and being on board with them, et cetera, knowing the whole background and that this stuff could come back up again, you know, and a lot of our reputable people go into it because, maybe it's some quick money or some secure money. And they feel like they could never get caught because I don't know. I can't even explain why they would do that, but
Right.
a lot of reputable people end up caught up in these things. You know,
Yeah, I understand that. But let me ask you another question. Come to the end of it. Do you think that there could be a commission of an inquiry?
if the people of the Bahamas rise up, if the media that has sold out rises up, etc., there can be. Remember, there was commission of inquiry in '84 when the Finland government was in power. So
Yes.
there was a commission of inquiry in the 50s while the UBP was in power. So even though
Yeah.
they were the government, when a commission of inquiry was called for, it's a Westminster system. They allowed a commission of inquiry. But this administration and the last minute's administration ignored. We put in for commission of inquiries with reference to immigration, and both administrations, both of them ignored it. And whoever was the opposition at the time also ignored it. All right. And so these
Yeah.
guys are working together. And so if they could have a commission of inquiry under Pinlin when he was at his power and his strength, why can't we have one now? There must be a commission of inquiry now that politicians are being implicated in all of this.
Yes.
There must be. And we're going to
Yes.
continue to demand that. And the Bahamian people have to rise up. And we're calling on the media to rise up. All right. Watch the Tribune.
Sir.
Watch the Tribune is going to be doing some investigative reporting on this. Me and the Tribune don't get along sometime, but on this, they're going to be doing some stuff. Read the business section of the papers. Neil Hartnell has put something out last week. I believe he's going to put something out again on Tuesday. Continue to watch that. Now, hundreds of thousands of people or millions of people watching me every week. I need you to look at the Tribune. All right. The
Yes,
business
sir.
section at what Neil Hartnell is putting out there, along with what I'm saying to you, we're going to get to the bottom of this. And if you see Neil being attacked, if you see me being attacked, or people around me being attacked, that is RICO. That's them attacking us because we're speaking out.
Rico.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Yeah.
All right. Be safe
Thank you, man.
and COI.
Thank you, man. So if you see Rico bringing the tractors on the farmland, you know what it is. If you see them trying to put stuff on me and charge me with stuff and all this kind of stuff, you know exactly what it is. All right. We got to stand up against this corruption going on in this country. 8035995. 8035995 is the number. Um, I'll probably give you all like 10 more minutes. Call you live. Go ahead. Okay, we lost him. 8035995 is the number. What do you think about all of this? This West End connection. Everything is starting to line up and make sense about what has been going on. We gotta get our country back. We gotta get this right. All right? We gotta fix this and get this right. We got to fix this. Gotta fix this, man. This our country, man. This our country. This all we got. Call you live. Go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead, caller. Go ahead, caller. Okay, we keep losing them. Okay, let's try again. Call you live. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Okay, we keep losing them. There might be someone calling me in a regular line trying to track my location because that's something that they do. So the good people, y'all call in. Don't let these people get in the call in. They might be trying to geolocate me. Let's go. Call you live. Go ahead.
Hey, yes, Mr. Blaine. Mr. Blaine, I respect you. I really support you and what you're doing.
Thank you, man.
Because it seems that only the small man in this Bahamas, you do one little small thing, they reel you up through banking and
Yep.
expose you like nothing. But
Yeah.
when these big suit and tie man them do stuff, nobody sees nothing. But the country love corruption. They love it. You understand? It's so sad to see our people. You went through all of this fuss, and all they doing is enjoying the party and the lifestyle of their own. You know, but we the suffer as a people. God be with us. But I really appreciate what you're doing. And if you need anybody to stand with you, I'm standing with you. I'm
Thank you,
voting
man.
for you, and I support you. I'm the kind of person I watch things from the background. And what you're saying is making sense. The gentleman who was on earlier and said people is listening to you. Boy, listen here. People is paying attention, but people are afraid to speak out because they're gonna be, you know,
They're gonna have happen to
put
them what
down.
has been happening to me for all these years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we paying attention to you.
Yeah, man.
We are paying attention. The country is,
Thank you,
and
man.
it's so sad. Our country gone again like the '80s. In the '80s, did this country bad.
Yeah.
I mean, some people made some money and did some stuff, but it affect a lot of families on the backdrop. So you be encouraged, my brother.
Thank you, man. You got a few more minutes. 803-5995. 803-5995. We got to do something with our country, man. Caller, you live. Go ahead.
Hello.
Hello.
I want to say PhD better than CY.
Okay. They're definitely better at drug dealing. Let's go. Call you live. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Bean. How you doing?
I am awesome.
That's good. That's good. Listen, I just want to say, keep up the good work. You're doing an amazing job. Don't be discouraged. Know that the whole of the Bahamas with you. Not even half, because half of them they playing crazy, but they right here with you. So be encouraged.
Thank
And
you.
whenever you come, when you ready, let's do this riot. Let's get this thing started. Get them demons out of that house.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Have a good one.
Okay. Call you live. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. All right. Have a good one.
Go ahead, caller.
Call you live. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. All right. Have a good one.
Caller, don't listen to your phone or your TV. Okay, we lost that. 803-5995 is the number. Call you live. Go ahead. Hello. Go ahead,
Can you hear
caller.
me?
Yes.
Okay, great. So you didn't expose this and everything, right? But this is a question I have, and I'm pretty sure plenty of people know the answer to this question. If you have the leaders who allegedly dealing with these drug dealers and stuff, right? And the U.S. want them or however it goes, right? If the opposition don't do nothing and the leaders cover themselves, protect themselves, where the U.S. can't lock them up or nothing, right? And then they control the media. What do we do as behemoths? What other choice we have?
You have to stand up and protest full the square and refuse to leave until the government steps down. That's a big thing that Bahamians can do. But Bahamians have thus far, refused to come out to stand up against politicians because they don't want to lose their job or their government contract, etc. Yeah,
So how big the numbers have to be?
you just have to full the square.
And the
Every
he will
country have a
play in.
square, and that's the purpose. That's international law. And we watch it on TV. We see the Arab Spring. We see what happens. We see it happen all the time on TV, but we don't have the courage to do it. The only way to move a government might be to hit the square. I mean, you could have a coup d'état, but that's violence. But the legal way would be to fill the square and refuse to leave, to demand that y'all use our house for illegality, y'all stole the election, get out of our house. And so it might take the righteous thinking people of this country to stand up, because we're looking bad in front of the international community and in front of America right now. We're looking bad. And the fact that America is not informing our government about these investigations shows you that they're not trusting them or that they're investigating them.
Yes. So I heard you said they might be coming with a RICO case. So does a RICO case trump diplomatic immunity or no?
Diplomatic immunity is only for the sovereign head of state. All right, that's to make sure that countries can't just go and take over another country. But if they don't recognize your election, then they can say, like they did with Maduro, well, you're not a sovereign head of state because we never recognize you. So that can
Right.
happen. And so you saw that our government rushed quickly, quicker than ever before, to put in their cabinet ministers and get the House of Assembly open back to say that, well, the government already in place. That normally takes about a month. Um, Last time in the middle of October is when they went back to the House of Assembly, sometime like just after the first week, I think, even though the election was on September 16th. But this time they did everything quickly and got back to the House quickly. And so
Before they,
all of this is suspicious, all right?
so you think one protest with a good amount of people out there
Where we
could do
refuse
something?
to leave, yes.
People joking, man. They really don't want to play.
All right, my brother.
All right.
Good talking to you. While you're live, go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Mr. Ben, how you doing?
I'm alive.
All right. Hey, I agree with you on everything, man. Right now, Bahamian living outside the country, right? Because of the corruption of the country. Okay? What you're doing is commendable, sir. Don't ever stop. I commend you, Charlotte, Maria, all the things y'all doing in that country is what needs to be done. Like you said, that square should be filled with angry Bahamians who know the corruption that's going on in this country. It's not that they don't know. They're complicit in the corruption. We like corruption. Okay? Remember, for the past, I can't even tell you, 80s straight to the 90s up to the 2000s. Every time it's a PLP, every time it's an election, you have people talking about how we need to bring this PLP government back in to bring the drugs in. Right?
Yeah.
That is always being said. So we already know what the situation is with them. Now, we want to vote them in for a couple of dollars when we losing our soul, we losing our country for a couple of dollars. But at the end of the day, like you say, protest wins. We should fill that square.
Yeah.
Overturn what's supposed to be, what was not even a legitimate election, as you said, for people who were not supposed to vote in that election. We need to get in that square, fill that square, and bring the Bahamas back to what it used to be.
Yeah.
We've lost our way. We are immoral people at this point. Look at the way we kill each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at the way we hate each other. We have
man.
lost our morality.
We gotta fix it, man.
Okay. And we will. And
All right.
at the end of the day, Lincoln, when you get back over there, if they say if they try to touch you, I implore every Bahamian to get out, and if they have to rip the bars off the jail themselves to get you out, make sure that it's done. Thank you. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, man.
You have a good
Thanks
evening,
for
Mr.
your
Ben.
Caller, you live. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
Lincoln.
Yes.
Lincoln.
Yes.
Mr. Ben.
Yes.
The PLP of this country fuck up.
Yes.
Fuck right up. And I'm tired.
Yeah.
Mr. Ben,
Yes.
you understand me, right?
Yep.
I ready to, you know, I ready to go bomb the place.
I know you're speaking figuratively. Call you live. Go ahead.
Hey, good day, Mr. Ben. How are you doing today?
I'm awesome.
I have a quick question, right? I just want to ask only one question here. If we were to have a by-election for West Grandmama, will you run as the next member of parliament for West Grandmama for the COI?
I don't have permission to make any kind of statement like that. The last time I ran is because the party wanted me to run. They asked me to run. I didn't want to run. And so the party would have to make that decision.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know, sir.
Yeah, the party would have to make that decision.
Okay, sir. You
All
enjoy
right.
the rest of your day now.
All right. Thanks for your call. Call you live. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Okay, we lost that one. Call you live. Go ahead.
Yes, pleasant good evening, Mr. Bain. How are you doing, sir?
I'm awesome, man.
That is wonderful, wonderful. I just was calling just to notify you that persons are standing behind you, sir. And I would that Bahamian people, I'm hearing you continuously stress, you know, this is our country, but if Bahamians them would really realize the volume that this is really taking on, at least against Bahamian people, that is, the volume in the world and the way that persons look at us, we really need to stand up for ourselves. Sir, I'm saying to you, I know that they stole your seat from you. I know that. Okay? I believe that Bahamians, we need to really set in our hearts and in our mind, because guess what? We ain't getting no reward when we dead. In our car, in our house, no mansion where we go in. We need to stand up. God gave us dominion over this earth, sir. He told us control. He gave us the power to control and to rule.
Yeah.
So we should not allow ourselves to be subdued.
Yeah.
I really want to not to get carried away. I don't want to allow other persons to call in, sir, but people, and we really need to stand behind Mr. Bean and fight. I ain't telling you, I feel this from in my heart. I 50 years plus, man. People, you all stand up.
Yeah.
I've been watching this foolishness between PFP and FNM for 50 years. All you can do is pave the road. Patch up the road and do what paint the schools. But ain't nothing empowering the people themselves. And the only image they could put out there to the world is a bunch of gangsters, a bunch of thieves. My God, when we can stand up and fight, people. Let's stand and fight with this pain. Let's stand up and fight for ourselves, man.
Yeah. Thank you, man.
It's heartbreaking, man.
It is.
It's heartbreaking.
And people suffering and they partying and dancing and people living on the beaches. People, got holes in their roofs. And I mean, people suffering in this country, man, and they partying with our money.
I just drive around. You hear me? I grew up in the ghetto. I grew up in the ghetto. And sometimes when I pass and I see and ride through some of those corners, ain't nothing change. No kind of improvement. I mean, and they ain't trying to, even with our education, a lot of the stuff they teach our children in here, they ain't teaching, they're not teaching it elsewhere, but different places in the world. You know, they're not trying to bring the people them up. Less people, God. And somebody, I'm going right now, so somebody made a comment earlier, said that the God has already spoken, or the voice of the Lord has already spoken based on this past election. But that listening to that and hearing what they're saying, it's almost like somebody coming to me and saying, God authorized Sodom and Gomorrah.
No, Pinland made a statement before. That's not in the Bible, where he said the voice of the people is the voice of God. the people usually go against God, and even Jesus
Yes.
said you can't always go with the crowd. The crowd normally wrong. It's the narrow road.
Yes, sir.
That's the right road. In
And
many
few.
instances, we saw God tell the people what you all want is wrong, but if you want it, I give it to you. All right, you could have
Yes.
it, and that was
And that
His
is so
children of
true.
Israel. You know,
Yes, sir.
and so when they talk about God putting kings in place and taking them down, it was actually talking about the children of Israel, all right, and their situation.
Yes.
But that doesn't
Yes,
mean
sir.
God can't do whatever He wants. He can, but
Yeah.
the people always 99% of the time choose wrong. They spoke against Jesus. You know, they
Yes.
said, "Give us Barabbas." You
Uh-huh.
know, and so not because the people voted for something. People, the Bible says, when the wicked rule, the people mourn,
Yes.
and when the
Yes,
righteous
sir.
rule, the people rejoice.
Yes.
All right.
And
So
we know
God
there's
didn't
a
put
lot of
the wicked there for them to mourn. Sometimes the
uh-huh.
people put the wicked rule in place or allow them to stay in place. It's time to
Yes.
rise up. We have a duty to rise up. If our
Yes, sir.
government is
I
being
say
used
march.
for drug dealing,
I
how
I
do you
say
see
march.
this a long-standing drug dealer gets
Yes, sir.
government contracts,
My God.
and the former minister of housing is sitting in our house
Uh-huh.
with a different
Washing money.
portfolio now?
Washing money.
Our country laundering money, giving over $5 million a year just for 1 billion housing
Yes,
projects.
yes, sir.
No man. You know
Uh-huh.
how America's looking at us? I've sat in front of them. Do you know how they're looking at us?
But we right at their doorstep. More or less you could say to their back door. You understand?
Thanks for your call,
Think of
man.
yes, sir.
All right. Callers, that's all I can do for today. If y'all don't see a need to stand up and fight against this corrupt government, then I don't know what else to say. I'll take this call. People are talking about another alleged drug dealer in Grand Bahama. Hold the line, call. I'll get right with you. And their relationship to Kingsley Smith. They're talking about Ellie or whatever. That Ellie worked with Player or whatever, and that Kingsley and them as classmates and work together. You know, I deal with facts and papers and evidence, and so, but we can all see everything coming together, particularly with what's going on there, particularly with the murder that happened with Links Jones, particularly with the airport and them wanting to buy that and get the blessing to meet with, to have a general set up a meeting with the MP and all this kind of stuff. And all this is alleged, but all of this is now coming together and making sense. Man, we got to do something, man. Call you live. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Man.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Man, my question is, what is to stop the United States law enforcement from going anywhere in this region to pick up anyone that's indicted for crimes against the United States of America? The DEA annual budget allocation is about $3 billion annually. The CIA budgetary allocation is $2.5 billion annually. What is going to stop them? Do you get where I'm coming from, Mr. Bing?
Yeah.
Our national, our annual budgetary allocation is what it is, about $3 billion, Mr. Bing.
Yeah.
You compare that with just one law enforcement portfolio for the United States government, and they are getting what our national allocation is. So they have all the resources they need. Now, Mr. Davis, for now, if he does anything that is going to cause any indictments against him, for now he would be get left alone. But that doesn't speak for the rest of the government. And that's what I need people to understand in the Bahamas. You cannot be thinking that they're not minding their business. They have a whole embassy in the Bahamas. You remember USAID, they send money all around the world, the countries for every reason under the sun. Some of them don't even make, some of the reasons doesn't even make any sense. If you're taking money from a country
they must be able to have some influence on what you're doing. But don't take nothing from them. That's all I have to say, Mr. B.
All right, thank you. So I got a call from Ed Curling. Ed Curling is called the Sandman. He's one of the biggest financiers of the FNM. He was actually trying to buy a plane for them at one point before the snap election was called to help them campaign and all that. He has the San Aragonite contract he's been benefiting from for a long time. He sent me a text. He was trying to call into the show, but he sent me a text. He said, "Can appreciate." Hold the line. Hold the line one sec, caller. Hold the line. He said, I can appreciate your show with Fox. To talk about hearsay, in my humble opinion, you are very wrong to call the gentleman name. I think he's talking about Kingsley Smith. I'm wrong to call his name. Even in the court of law, they take evidence and they take affidavits from persons. Evidence is not only papers and video, etc. It's also witness testimony. All right. And so I want you to understand that I would not have said that unless I had a witness testimony. Edward Curling, I'll just give you a little snippet, all right? But I want you to understand that Kingsley Smith, I can't say what their conversation was, but Kingsley Smith uh, was in the House of Assembly meeting with the CI or confidential informant with by Ravi Roll, all right? And I think it's DJ Ferguson, the pilot, the drug pilot. All right? Listen very carefully. I hope you can hear this very well.
And listen to me, man. I giving you first-hand information. The conversation they talking about is the CI would go on there with me to talk with West End Getting Project. That's how they come on in the beginning. All right? I revealing a secret to you because I reveal this shit. I have an uncle who work in intelligence in America. That's how I know these people is targeted. I only let this play out. And other people involved because they couldn't see LinkedIn. Wow. The government see them. That's why I'm telling you. I only call you on behalf of. Listen to me.
And so the gentleman, that's Ravi Rule, saying that he took the CI, the confidential informant, to the House of Assembly, and that's who met with Kingsley Smith. He said initially they came talking about the GIN project, etc. And we know now, we understand why they were talking about the GIN project. And then it switched into the drug conversation. All right? I have all of that. Curling, you should know me. All right? You should know me. Call you live. Go ahead.
Mr. Bean, I like to say on the whole Bahamas, we appreciate what you done today on exposing this drug operation we call the government. And I like to say to Mr. Kingsley Smith, if you have arms for be wrong, and just excuse my language, the boy should be ready to one. But I like to say on the whole Bahamas, we appreciate you and keep up the good work and stay safe, my brother.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. So, Ed Curlin, I know y'all all y'all working together. All right, and you gonna need little contract from the PLP now that the FNM didn't, even though you spent all the millions for them to get in. But call you live.
Hey, Mr. Ben.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Hey, Mr. Ben.
Yes.
Mr. Ben.
Yes,
I would
you're
like
live.
to tell you, as a young bear man, but they watch them, not just them, just government and all these corrupt old people doing to the young people of this country is wrong, bro. And it's being exposed because too much mothers crying for their sons who get locked up, getting killed. The same trade with if the older men were supposed to be back, the older men were supposed to be protecting us and making it better for us, and the younger ones were behind us. If they ain't trying to save our country by Mr. Ben, who's supposed to be trying?
Yeah.
Mr. Ben, I commend you, and I ask the Bahamian people for you to stand up and wake up, because hey, y'all realize in the last 5 years how much young people have been committing suicide, need help, bro, and y'all see what God exposing, bro. Corruption shit big and people hurting, bro, and y'all voting the shit back in.
Wow.
Hey, Mr. B, hey, people in this country need to stand up and make a change. And I thank you for standing up for some young people who don't have no one, but keep it up, baby.
Thank you, man. Someone says, Mr. Bain, you could have put possibly that person's life in danger by one, revealing his name, and two, playing his voice note. That was very irresponsible. What is irresponsible is going to our House of Assembly and doing a drug deal in our House of Assembly. That's what's irresponsible. All right? What's irresponsible is the way our country is being run like a drug mafia. That's irresponsible. We need to fix our country, and you're worrying about the wrong things. These people are living off the fat of the land while other Bahamians are suffering. There's no law for them, but we cracking down on everyday real Bahamians who just trying to survive. These politically connected people are destroying this country. You could hate it or love it. I am going to say what the Lord tells me to say and do what He tells me to do, and I will suffer the consequences, even if I got to put my head on the pallet. Even if I got to go stand up on top of the cross. But our country needs to be fixed. And as us covering up for these dark situations was destroying our country, and people being afraid to lose contracts, and people protecting the evildoers in this country, and attacking the good activists and the people who trying to do right, like Mario Moxie, threatening me to attack everyone on the farmland because of me, because I choose to stand up and speak what's right. That's the kind of country we must live in. What puts your life in danger when you go into drug dealing? Call, I coming to you right now. It's a drug dealing lifestyle. You know, he could be killed or arrested at any time. He knows that. Now, what I'm doing is, Kingsley Smith, if what he is saying is true, because who knows? If what he's saying is true, turn yourself in. Turn informant. Say who the big fish is you's working for. If what he's saying is true, he needs to turn himself in. It's simple as that. You need to stop countenancing evil. Call you live. Go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. Bain. How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, just calling to let you know what you said was the truth. They're already down there on the farmland. They had 3 tractors down there now for 2 days ripping up.
What?
Yes, sir. I just passed again today. They working on Sunday too. They're ripping up the land, got the tractors and
Government does
everything
work on
down there.
Sunday?
Government? Is government? Aye.
All right. I'll
Okay.
deal with that. Thank
Okay.
you. When will there be justice and rest for Bahamians in this country? When? When? And I know they had started on the far part. They did some stuff where they said they was going to put a solar farm around by the airport road by the roundabout. Um, but listen, when will there be rest for good, decent Bahamians? I remember when they had sent Carol down there and he had harassed those persons, pulled gun on elderly couple. I mean, there's people in their 70s and 80s. Um, searched a female, a teacher, an elderly teacher, a woman. Only on him in the back there. And he did what he had to do. I mean, this. Call you live. Go ahead.
Good evening, Mr. Ben.
Good evening.
Trust that all is well with you. Mr. Ben, I want to speak to the audience, everyone that's listening. I don't know if we understand what it is that has transpired in this last election and this last 5 years. But we have watched you and your team sacrifice your lives. We watch you sacrifice your finance. We watch you take the initiative to awaken the Bahamian people that we all understand what the issues are. Now I'm saying to the Bahamian people, Mr. Bain has done what he could have done to get us to the place where we need to be. But now it's Mr. Bain needs the Bahamian people to now stand up. We see that they're threatening to take everything that has been fought for the people. When you talk about the crown land and you talk about trying to take your freedom, we watch them take a whole seat from the COI because they don't want truth. They don't want righteousness to prevail in our country. So I'm saying to the Bahamian people, it's going to take us to push back and to dismantle this diabolic system of governance that we see happening in our country, that we continue to sit back and allow. Our generations is depending on us to give them a Bahamas. If the Lord is to delay his coming, that will be able to suffice their generation, our generations behind us. We can't pass them this country. So I'm saying to every Bahamian, every right-thinking Bahamian, it's time to stop worrying about your little job, your little contract, because all of that can go anyhow. If we don't get up and fight, we talking about being extinct by the people down south. Our government is going to extinct us, whether the people down south are a part of it or not, because they are so corrupt. We can't trust nothing what they're doing. So it's time you talk about getting in the square and standing up. I think every right-thinking Bahamian needs to understand what you're asking us to do and put aside this political concept, and now let's fight for this country. That's all I have to say.
Thanks, Jagoal. Call you live. Go ahead.
Mr. Bean, listen, I think we need to go to the square. I understood that they tearing up the land. We need to go to the square.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for your call. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. It's Devon Ravi Rule.
Man, listen to me, man. I giving you first-hand information. The conversation they talking about is the CI would go on there with me to talk with West End Gin Project. That's how they come on in the beginning. All right? I revealing a secret to you because I reveal this shit. I have an uncle who work in intelligence in America. That's how I know these people is targeted. I only let this play out. And other people involved because they couldn't see it, Lincoln. Wow. The government see this from a million miles away. That's why I'm telling you, I only call you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we got to decide what we can do with our country. They can do what they want to me, I'm doing this because I love my country and I love my people. But we as a people got to decide if we can let our country be run like a drug mafia. Call your live. Go ahead. Go ahead, caller. Caller, you live. Go ahead.
You could hear me?
Yeah, barely.
Okay. Let me turn it up.
Just
What about
talking the
now? You
mic.
can hear me now?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay. Yeah. I'm calling from Freeport, and these from the image of Freeport, plenty of us report you. I marched to and was running for West.
Put your mouth
I'd like
straight
to
to the
call
mic. Put your mouth straight to the mic so we can hear you.
Okay. What about now?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And I marched with you when you was running for West NC. You know, God is watching over the Bahamas right now, and I feel that for 40 years or more, we ain't been going nowhere. Like the children of Israel, just a journey we could take like 10 to 11 days, taking us 40 years to get it together. So we have opposition now, which is the COI, which in many of my colleagues supporting. The older Bahamians getting theirs. They ain't thinking about the next generation. They're going to leave the next generation weak and dumb. And Miles Monroe talk about it. And we can get overcome if we don't stand up. If you eating and you don't see your fellow Bahamian ain't eating, and you think that everything all right in your house, you're wrong. Because the same Bahamians that you neglecting can be the ones to overthrow the party that you supporting. Because I was a swing voter, I ain't loyal to nobody. But right now I feel in the COI a little while now. And if you eating from contracts and you ain't thinking about the next smaller Bahamian, you living in your house, you get generator power cut off, think about those Bahamians who don't have it. All of us supposed to be one. And Mr. Ben, I support you, and I pray God protection and hedge around you. That's all I got to say.
Thank you. God bless. Call your live. Go ahead. Go ahead, call you live.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Bain. How you doing?
I'm alive.
I want to hear the awesome. Let's hear awesome.
I'm
anyway,
awesome, man.
Mr. Bain, I want to congratulate you on a race well ran that you ran. I want to say that you did an awesome job. You opened the eyes of a lot of Bahamian people who was unaware and didn't know their rights and what's going on in the Bahamas. I'm sure that outcome should have been different. So I want to mention one or two things. And I know you only deal with facts, and I'm dealing with facts, but I'm also dealing with things that I know. I don't know if you remember, there was a trip some time ago to Uganda.
Right.
Okay. They did not go to Uganda to visit the guerrillas. The Museveni, who's the president of Uganda, won the election 4 or 5 days before they did. Okay, for 7 years. He's been in power for 40 years. He cheated his way in. They were there. They got counseling from Museveni, president of Uganda. Then I'm gonna bring up another part here, Mr. Bain. Why would they hire a fraudster, a voter fraudster, one of the biggest fraudsters, never finished college? I'm gonna bring this up, and I know, this is on me. Okay, I take responsibility of this. Roger Stone. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm out in the traffic. Okay, Roger Stone. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, yeah. Roger Stone was hired $250,000 a month of Bahamian people, tax people money. He was the biggest tax cheat, 7 felonies. They hired him just before the election. They know it. They know they're corrupt. They are corrupt. And it's going to come to surface. They've done a lot of filth. The drug dealing, human trafficking, U.S. knows it.
But when the hammer comes down, you can only run for so long. But when the hammer comes down, it's going to slam them hard.
Yeah.
Brave David knows it. So, Mr. Bain, I want to come again, congratulate you. You opened the eyes of the Bahamian people, and there's more to come.
Yeah.
They will be seeing more. They made promises that they can't keep, and they won't.
Hello? Oh, we lost him. Call you live. Go ahead.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Bean, and good evening, Bahamas.
Good
I was
evening.
listening to the live, and I am very distraught, especially when I hear grown men crying. Sometimes it makes you feel hopeless when you hear things like that, because you know our men are known as kings of the land. But you know what is sad? It is sad that when the people give their demands or state what they expect or want or need from the government goes against the will of the people. Voted against certain things, but the government said yes. When the people said no. But I'm listening to that. I've received calls from people stating that the government is on the crown land, the government is ripping up the land. People have already invested in the land. I am one of those. My foundation is down, my wells are dug, all of my trees are planted, and this is what they decide to do. We have had foreigners possessing our land for decades, and the governments of the Bahamas never did anything about it. But they decided to come because they are powerful to take away from the people who toiled and fought for their land. Mr. Bean, I am going on my land, and I am going to fight for my land. I'm going to fight my land. I am going to stand, and I am not going to back down. And whoever the citizen is, the citizen, be it Bahamian or foreigner, I will fight them as well. We know that the government is corrupt. We have been educated on the land in the Bahamas. The government is the overseer. That's it, not the owners. How dare they go around taking from Bahamians and we just laying down and lax because it's our party colors? Do you see why some Bahamians are angry and speaking the way that they are speaking? You're pushing a person in a corner and they cannot get out. What is there left for them to do when you can't get out and you are fighting for your survival? They steal, and steal. They are corrupt dogs. And the Christian leaders that covers for them. I am so happy to see Mr. Moxie standing up and others like him. The government can no longer do this to the Bahamian people. I mean, they blatantly showed where they stole the election. All of the scandals, all of the corruption. It's sickening. We have been fighting for people for such a long time. To the point where I don't even want to go out and do activism anymore. Because if the people aren't ready, why do we continue? And I ask you this, why do we continue? Mr. Bean, I told you to leave the country and go deal with your family. Leave the Bahamas alone. Because if the people aren't ready, leave them alone. But you know what? I know we are called for such a time. I know we are called to do such a work. So I will continue standing. As long as you are standing, I'm going to continue standing. But the Bahamian people, they need to get on it. Everybody calling to go in the square. When the time comes, how much will show up? Bahamians are emotional. We are emotional, but when the time comes, will you stand? But I am going to stand for my property. So I don't know who is listening. Whoever the tractor, the controller for the tractor is, whoever the person was that Brave Davis fooled to giving them my property, hear my voice. I am coming on my property. Call the police because I am going to stand up. I have property on my property and I am going to stand. Good evening, Mr. Bain.
Good evening. The threats started coming after all the line caller. The threats started coming after I did the show last week about Eric Gardner, about how they're going to attack us and how they're going to come after us. 3 days ago, I got refreshed attacks about they come in and they go take our land and they go any contract and anything they find they can just dig up and destroy this. The fella said it's above my pay grade and what they could do to me, and they ain't just bankrupt me. They could do this and that and the next, and they kill me, and they affect my next generations. They don't know what I'm messing with, and so now I'm hearing. I didn't know this at the beginning of the show until the lady called a minute ago that they've started because I've been away um, uh, for a little while now, for several days, so I didn't know what was going on. Um, And she said, in a sense, they threaten me now that they have attacked. Um, they ain't solving the people's side, attacking them, going after them personally, taking it to their house, taking it to them and theirs. Um, I don't know how much Bahamians are going to be asking. Yeah. Call you live. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, good afternoon, Mr. D. How you doing, sir?
I'm awesome.
That's good. It's a different type of call you get right now. Obviously, every day in your life, and the Spirit of the Lord speak to me at every and your family. So that's just what I call it today. All right. I'm nervous because this ain't something I used to. I don't pray out loud, but because the Lord said to me to pray for you and your family, I'm going to Heavenly Father, thank you. I bring you and see your eye before you. Lord, I bring this country before you today. Father, in the name of Jesus, we declare and decree your business, oh God. We declare and decree, oh God, everything that He set His hand to do, fulfill, oh God. Lord, we ask, oh God, for your divine protection upon him and his family. Lord, build a hedge of protection around him. As he Lord, Lord, you know he is called of you. And so you give praise, oh God, for all that he is doing. Continue to do his precious and mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. God bless you, man. Thank you for being obedient. I can't take any more calls. I gotta end there. But thank all of y'all for tuning in. And so, as Bahamians, we have to take some action. We can't sit down and watch this and do nothing. We have to take some action. We have to. So stay tuned. Um, we are fighting the election thing. We're putting together everything. We need persons to. Sorry, I can't take any more calls. We'll be here all night. So sorry about that. Um, you know, we ask persons to assist us, with the cost of election guard. Election guard could sometimes the cost could be like $500,000, $1 million in the end. If you don't win, but it has upfront costs, and so we've not received anything from anyone. But other than people saying that go and do it. Um, but if you would like to assist, you can get in touch with us. Like I said, um, 803-5995, 803-5995. You can text me and let me know that you want to assist. I had people reach out and say to send bank account numbers and stuff like that, but we haven't received anything yet. But we really want to fight this election court. We really want to stand up. So we need more than just person saying go for it, go do it. So help out where you can if you can. If I got to go stand in front of tractors, I wonder if I could be there by myself. I don't know. Um, you know, if we have to go in the square, who's going to stand up for this one country we got and our reputation and fight for the reputation of this country so it's not destroyed, so that your children have something to inherit? I can tell you that our country is going to start getting punished for the actions of our leaders, and we're going to suffer while they're doing well. They can move to another country and live. You see, Player and them got companies and bank accounts and all that stuff in Panama, and so they can go anywhere and live and have a good life, them and theirs. But it's also got to stay here and suffer. So the question is, what are we going to do? All right. The question is, what are we going to do as a people? All right. So um, any tractor driver that might be willing to take on their threat to disenfranchise Bahamians, to disenfranchise Bahamians, when they got all kind of shanty towns still around this place, they knock down a couple houses to make it look good, then use our money and our $1,200 a month from social services to give them housing to pretend that they was doing something. But those shanty towns are bigger than ever now. But they uh, decide they're gonna fool people. It hurts me when my activism hurts the people around me. This case, I get teased about and tormented about was because my business burned down and everyone around me lost because of my activism. I could have minded my own business and done well. But I chose to stand up for the Bahamian people. But in the end, you gotta take the ridicule for yourself and have people call you all kind of names and attack you. Um, Laugh at you, when you lose cases over this thing that's clearly political cases and even be threatened with bankruptcy and all this kind of stuff. But they don't care about the fact that you just chose to stand up for some Bahamians who couldn't stand up for themselves. And there's repercussions for that. They don't care about the fact that, none of us can get any jobs or contracts in this country because we choose to stand up, but they'll say, y'all keep going. And guess what? This is the only country we got, so we're going to keep going. All I ask is for the Bahamian people to stand up, to finally stand up. We cannot let them use our country like no drug mafia, man. This can't happen. This can't happen. Politics aside, this can't happen. This can't happen. We'll see you all next time.